All right, everybody. How is everybody doing? We've got some chats coming in already. U3BI4B says, let's go. Ian Simpson Poker's here and saying, hey, everyone. Mr. Jam is here as well, saying, what's up, guys? Funny Money is here as well. Hey, all. And Matt Burns says, hi, everyone. And Yanis is here too. All right, so welcome to today's stream. I'm not sure if we've done one of these for a while. Shout out to Triple Threat 956, first time chatter. Says hello. Mr. P-Man is here as well. Hi guys, we are going to get into it. I've got a pint of water. My plan is to get through this by the end of the session. And also do some drilling. Cheops32 is first time chatter as well. Says hello. I am streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. If you're new to the stream, you're watching on Twitch, then maybe think about hitting that follow button so you get notified when I go live next time. I am streaming pretty much every Monday apart from Boxing Day. We've done that since last year. I want to say November last year. Every single Monday apart from Boxing Day. We even did the 2nd of Jan, I believe. And we do a mixture of stuff. Today we're going to be doing some Postflop Drills. We did some node locking last week. And before that we've done other stuff on ICM and things like that. So lots of cool stuff. If you watch on YouTube, shout out to you as well. Think about giving the video a like or the stream a like. I don't know how it works. And also subscribing if you want to. Resin42, how's it going? Says hello all. Right. So we're going to keep things, we're going to look at fundamentals. We want to make sure that we're getting really, really good at those. So I'm going to click single raise pot and I want to be playing against the big blind. We're going to switch between in position and out of position. But we need to choose a stack size. We've got some all right scores here, but we've also got some, what is that? Oh, it's big blind versus small blind. Kel Surprise, the numbers dropping off here. Shorter stack looks interesting. It's only 67% there, only 76 hands as well. Clearly I just haven't got into it just yet. I want to see one where we just really need to make some improvement. Let's just try low jack versus big blind and see what our options are. So you probably don't need to do this one. This one looks okay, 80%. This one 83. This one 77. 15 though, yeah, 15 maybe is an option. I'm not sure if that's 15 big symmetric or asymmetric. Let me just find that out. Both players have 15 bigs. How will we find out? I don't think it is it? Because that does the low jack? I feel like low jack has more bigs. I don't know. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Walk666 says afternoon all. How's it going? Good to see you guys. How are we doing for numbers? 22 viewers on Twitch right now. And no idea about YouTube. Let's have a look. 2. Shout out to the 2 of you watching on YouTube. That is awesome. Right. I need to make a decision here. The problem is there are just too many. I'd like to do some. I just think we'd be very poor at this. But that's not necessarily that bad. 40 bigs, 2 hands played. That looks like a good one because I want to do this first. And this, I want to look at these reports. And this one has reports. Okay, cool. Right, we're doing it. We're going to do this. 40 big blinds, low jack versus big blind. I've only played 2 hands. And I am perfectly GTO. That number is definitely going to change because I'm bound to ball something up. But this is good. This is going to be good. So the reason why I wanted to look at these reports first is to sort of give you an idea of what we're looking at. And I don't know if this is going to be too big. It's going to load. Yeah, that's a little bit too big for you guys to see, isn't it? So let's see if we can change that a little bit. Now it's a touch too small, probably. God, that's going to get. Well, I'm looking at it on a big screen, but in a small box. So hopefully that's all right. Shout out to my new book, by the way. It's with the publisher. Got some good feedback from it. They said it's. I've done a really good job, and it's a very sort of fiddly exercise to put it all together because there's so many hand examples and charts and things like that. But they said it's going to be great once it's all done. So that's exciting. You can pre-order the book if you want to. If you do command new book in Twitch chat, you can get the link to pre-order the book. Right, so let's have a look at some of these. Now, my knowledge of this spot is reasonable, I would say. But sort of some overview is what I really want to give you. I mean, I could just say okay, so paired boards, we're generally going to be using a small bet. On paired boards where the big blind has a higher proportion of trips, we might want to start checking as well. That's an early idea. So let's see if that's true. Look, so betting composition, pretty much small all the way along. This is a trips board, so not sure why it's included in paired. I mean, there is a pair in it, but there's also another one of the pair. Let's do total. I want to see high check. So you can see where the bottom card's a pair. We're generally going to want to start doing some checking on those boards. But then, yeah, lower ones. Low jack versus big blind. Maybe there's not so many offsuit 4x, 5x, and 2x in the big blind's range. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But then all the others, we're happy to just bet small with range. Who else has commented here? Elanting or Lanting, not sure, says oi oi. Electric Foot says hello YouTube, as they say. 40 big blinds is a good stack size. Right. So that's the idea about paired boards. Let's take a look at I just want to see these just ace highs. I want to do non-paired. So we would expect, so loads of betting on ace high boards. Which are the ace high boards that we don't bet on very frequently? Shout out to Sacco Abs. Not sure if I said that right. There's a monotone board there. Oh, quite a few monotone ace high boards with some checks. Got to keep an eye out for that, guys. Hope you're making notes here, by the way. This camera a bit weird today. Let's fix that and move this down. That's a bit better. I see the two guitars there. And anyone want to guess where this is? A city? You can't really see it, but put your guesses into the chat. Let's get some early engagement going as I go through some of this stuff, which might be a bit dry. So yeah, ace-high monotone boards generally lots of there's not lots of, but there's some checking. In terms of betting composition, actually using the bigger bet size more frequently, but to be fair, it's split pretty evenly, 51 versus 49. Where do we see most of the small bets? On the ace kind of disconnected ace rag boards, I would say. Funny money on the money. NYC is correct. We're going to use the big bets when we just have really, let's look at these equities. In fact, let's just do this. Equity, there's a pretty big correlation between lots of equity and lots of big betting. Okay, so we want to be thinking about that. And certainly on the ABB board. So I would call this an ABB board, right? Ace, king, jack, ace, king, queen, ace, queen, jack, ace, king, queen, stuff like that. They're ABB boards. We have a lot of sets and straights and two pair. And our opponent is going to 3-bet a lot of those same hands. Funny Money says it lives 40 minutes from NYC. Awesome. That's wicked. Okay, so that's ace high boards. What else do I want to talk about? Low boards are pretty cool. Let's put them in. So what we should see is the equities, still pretty reasonable equity for us. Obviously not as big as ace, king, queen. I think this is a common myth that people look at these boards and they say, oh, this is a much better board for the big blind. It means we need to check more. Well, it's better for the big blind than ace, king, queen, but it's very rare that their equity is higher than impositions. Even this one, look, 7-6-5, the equity is still in imposition's favor. So it's very rare to see that. So it's what you're trying to say is not this is a board that's better for the big blind. You're trying to say, or what you want to say is that this is a better board for the big blind than other boards like ace, king, queen, and king, queen, jack, ace, queen, jack, stuff like that. So yeah, low boards, we're generally going to see big bet and check. Let's get rid of the monotone boards. There's still some small betting though on these low boards. Let's have a look at this. 9-8-6. Wow, okay. Got some 5 hives. So these make more sense to me. 732, 972, 943, 983 for small bets, because it's very rare that the big blind's going to flat a hand like 8-3 off, 9-3 off, 5-2 off, 3-2 off, 9-4 off, 9-3 off, 9-2 off, 7-2 off, stuff like that. So that makes more sense to me. The 986 is an interesting one. And then we've got some 4-3-2, 5-4-3s as well. I might have to have a look, think about why that's going on. That's just some general idea. Let's take a look then at monotone. What have we done here? Generally, the betting composition is small bet. Okay, so we should be aware of that. Is that all the monotone boards? Obviously, it can't be a monotone paired board. Looks like it. Okay, so mainly small betting, lots of betting in the first place, but there is some checking on ace high. Ace high monotone is ones to look out for, and this ace high, low connected board as well. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? I mean, let me just get rid of all of these. Oops. And then I want to do like king high, not monotone though. King high, yeah, mix of sizes, but great equity most of the time for the in-position player. Queen high boards, mixture, okay. And then what about like jack high? Cool. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's get into it. Don't know why that changed. Let's make this bigger. 40 bigs, low jack, big blind, single raise pot, 2 hands. We didn't really do the out of position report. I mean, let's do it really quickly. Oh, I see why. It's because we're back here. I just closed the wrong one. The reason why I'm not really that bothered about it is because look, we donk bet 2% of the time, check 98. So we can look out for these 7 high connected boards. 7x coming up trumps. If we do 7 here, 27.8. Wow. 6 high, 20.8. 5 high, 28%. So we're looking at so these sort of 7-6-5 high boards. That's cool. All right, let's get into it. If you're ready for some post flop drilling, we're going to try an attempt to keep 100% for this spot. Type in "let's go" in the chat and we'll get into it. And if you are enjoying this and you do love DTO, look, you can get 20% off all DTO poker products with MTT Gaz, the code that is. Right, let's go. Ian's ready. You 3BI4B's ready. Matt Burns is ready. Everyone else is ready. Let's go. Brian Potter, first time chatter, welcome, says let's go. Mr. Jam says let's go as well. We are starting out of position. Okay, well, we're always going to check on this board. And we've got a decision straight away. Now, obviously, we've just gone through what to do in position. Shout out to Khan HPQ. We've just gone through what to do out of position. And now we're in position, what to do on the flop. And now we have, and we just died in the big blind. I do want to play it from both sides because I want to see what happens. I would generally call here. I think we just got, it's facing a small bet. We've got an overcard, we have a flush draw, we have a backdoor straight draw. So, I think I would just, mostly just call. I mean, we are going to have better ace-x hands, though, that work out better as a call, like a ace-10, ace-9, ace-8, king-queen, stuff like that, with like 2 overs. So I definitely could see there's like an argument for raising. We're going to have like ace-3 and ace-5 of spades as well. But I think if we just raise all of our flush draws, I'm not sure that's going to be the answer. Brian Potter says, hello, Gaz. Nice to meet you. I'm a Gaz too. Well, awesome. Welcome. Kind of indifferent in my opinion. It's called and raise. Ace and king high flush draws mainly only raise. Severus Jane. Well, we could be making a big mistake straight away. Let's see. Oh, it wasn't too much of a mistake. But we've landed on a turn that has paired the board. we certainly have more 4x. Certainly have more 4x. I'll tell you what we should have done. Oh, we have got it on practice mode. Okay, cool. So we can just make sure we always get to the right spot in the end. We've got all the suited 4s. Obviously, we're just going to continue with. We don't have too many offsuit 4x though. I'm not sure the benefit of leading here when we've only got the option with of a small size. Can we get, you know, ace 7, ace 8, ace 9, ace 10 to start folding? I think we're going to have much weaker hands that can get better hands to fold, right? Whereas here we might just start getting worse hands to fold, and that's not really what we want to do. So yeah, let's check and be wrong. Okay, well, we're not wrong. I don't want to fold here. I think we've just got enough equity. It's between call and raise. I don't think we get to jam, but we do have a decent number of 4x. I just don't know if we do lead a lot of 4x, we don't have too many of them left to check raise. How he says get value from worse flush draws. It's tough for him to have too many worse flush draws though. Low jack versus big blind when the ace and the jack are out there. King queen, king 10, king 9, king 8 obviously. Queen 10, queen 9, queen 8. So yeah, there are some, but I think yeah, there's also some other things to think about. Anyway, I'm gonna go for call, and probably check fold river, and see how we got on. 65 out of 72. Let's have a look. Okay, so everyone's saying raise, not too bad because it does raise. As you can see here, it likes call more than raise. We see a lot more raising with like king 5 and king 3. Now think about that. You know, you're getting a lot of the ace highs to fold, right? Which is good, and then probably some better king x and queen x hands as well. Like when you raise queen 5, you're getting, you know, king queen of hearts to fold, that kind of thing. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, you can see it's a mix. So if you said raise, fine. If you know, it is calling more than raising. It's definitely not pure raise though. So I know that some of you wanted to do that. Ace 4 of spades, ace 3 of spades, ace 5 of spades, very much higher frequency raises. You've got more equity. You have a pair or a draw to go with your flush draw. So that's interesting. 5-4 of spades, for example, again, similar thing. Backdoor straight draw as well as having a pair and a flush draw. We're going to raise 4s, we're going to raise 2s. What about our best jack X? Ace jack, king jack, looks good. 10-9. Yeah, so this is what I was saying, that you're much more likely to raise weaker flush draws because you can get some better hands to fold. Of course, you don't get better flush draws to fold, but that's not your plan when you raise. Shout out to Minderis. So you see a lot more of these lower ones going for a raise than, say, let's have a look. Yeah, ace 10 of spades, pure call. Ace 9 of spades, pure call. King 10, king queen, they're all pure calls. I think I mentioned that before. They're just going to work out better. Anyway, let's carry on through. King jack 3, 2 Broadway board. I would just generally go for a small bet. You can get value from 3x, you get value from draws. Not sure we want to bet too big too soon. 6 is an interesting card. So the way that I teach this, approaching this turn card, is that this is a blank. Now, there are 6 ways that you could describe turn cards. Does anyone know what they are? I know there are some people who've gone through my programs watching. You guys should definitely know this. But there are 6 ways to describe a turn card. What are they? This is a blank. That's one of them. I'll give you one for free. Put your money away. Yeah, this is a blank. It doesn't change anything really. It doesn't complete a draw, for example. This is just a blank. Now I know there's lots to write here, so I'm just waiting for some answers to come through. Let's check out how we're doing. Shout out to 52 viewers on Twitch and 6 viewers on YouTube. We are flying. Shout out to Jay Romy for the follow. Resin42, brick ace. So brick is good. Yeah, brick or a blank ace. Straight completer, flush completer, paired, and something else. Jay Romy, so glad I found this. Well, welcome. Ian Simpson says blank, pairs the board, fills a draw, creates a draw. Oh, that's that's a new one. I've not heard that one before. Creates a draw. So this is an interesting example. There are actually only five ways to describe a turn card on this specific board. You've got an ace, which is just always going to be interesting, but the ace actually completes the straight as well, right? So you've got an ace, you've got overcards normally, but you can't have an overcard on a king high board that's not an ace, right? And that's why. You've got something that pairs the board. So you've got ace, overcard, pairs the board, completes a straight draw, completes a flush draw, and is a blank. Now you could put the draws together if you wanted to. There are no flush draws on this board, so you can't have that one. So actually, there's only 4 ways to describe a turn card. Ian says, yeah, like 2 of clubs would make a backdoor flush draw. Actually, now a flush draw. Okay, well that's fair enough. That's not something that I tend to think about, but I like the way you're thinking. So on this turn card, I wish I had the access to be able to draw for you. When I do Zoom calls, it's easy because you can annotate. But basically, the idea is on a blank turn card, you want to have a polarized strategy. I don't think there's going to be much small betting on this in this spot. You're either going to bet pot, which is the geometric sizing, because its SPR is 4, so you're always going to bet pot as the geometric sizing, or you're going to check. So that if you know that on a blank turn card, then it becomes easy. You can just say, oh, right, okay, is 7s good enough to bet pot on this turn card? No, definitely not. You don't get called by enough worse hands. 3x is just going to start folding. So therefore, is it bad enough that you want to turn it into a bluff? Well, no, because you still beat some 3x and you still beat any of the draws that decided to call. I mean, there's some backdoor flush draws because of the rainbow board. You've got straight draws. So no. So I think that we would just pure check this. If you can narrow down the options to just check and big bet, it's easy to know what to do with this hand. If you had aces, though, for example, or ace, king, king, queen, king, jack, pocket 3s, probably pocket jacks as well, all of them really good to bet, would be in a betting range. So if you think about this idea of betting your best hands for value, checking hands in the middle, and then betting your bluffs. Now, of course, you don't just bet all your bluffs. You can't bet all your draws here. But then you can work out, like 7s, probably, it's not a value bet. It's not a bluff. So we probably just want to check. And then he goes for an overbet, and we cry a little bit, and probably just fold. But my only downside, the only sort of pause here is that we completely unblock bluffs, right? So 9-10, queen 9, backdoor draws. I still don't think we get to call here, but the station in me wants the sticky station wants to call. But okay, so let's think about this. So not only do we want to unblock bluffs, which we do, we also want to block value hands. Now, do we block any value hands that would play like this? Does a hand like King 7 play like this? Now, possibly. Funny when he says, interesting, does a king bet that big? I mean, it should do, because what he's trying to do is make us indifferent with a bluff catcher, right? So he needs to bet some value hands for this size. Otherwise, he just always has a bluff and we can just easily call. He's saying he doesn't bet a jack for this size. So I think that some king X can bet here. Think about, on the turn, we would bet most of our king X, right? We would bet most of our king X. So maybe king 5 checks and king 7 checks. It'd be interesting to know where the line is, actually. But I think most of our king X would just pot it. So maybe ace king and aces, and then we would maybe check back top set sometimes because we block too many king X hands. But yeah, we do need to have some king X. This is why I think like king 5 or king 7 maybe checks turn, so that we can just pick this off, because we do block some value hands now in 2 pair, and some king X. So I think king X can play like this. I don't think he can bet like king 4, king 5 like this, because we can have king 7. And we can have top set. And what else could we have? Not sure. Twos? No 2s. I dislike McGregor says RNG a 30% call. All right. What was this? Is 5-4 suited with backdoor flush draw check raise from the big blind on the flop? No idea. Maybe, because it's got 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush. Maybe. Does Queen Jack, Jack 10 call? I'm not sure about those, because they would be blocking the obvious bluffs in like Queen 10, Queen 9, stuff like that. But the Jack X does block a hand like that doesn't check raise flop. So what 2 pair hands like Jack 6, Jack 2, I guess. I know we're spending a lot of time thinking well, I'm not overthinking it. I'm going to fold, but I'm sort of giving you an idea. But I think he can probably overbet like king 9 plus, given that we probably bet king 10, king queen, ace king, and aces on the turn. Let's have a look. 7-7 probably a better call than 9s and 10s. Yep, I think that's probably right. Why is half pot never used? Because you want to bet a polarized range. Yeah, exactly. So the turn is a blank. We have a polarized betting strategy. We reduce the options. Suddenly we know we can big bet and check. And I'm going to fold and see what happens. All right, smashed it. 40 out of 40. Let's confirm that it's big bet and check. Oh, look at that. Big bet and check. No small betting, no half pots. Honestly, this is one of the biggest heuristics you can take from turn play. Is to go, oh, it doesn't complete any pair. It's not an overcard. It's not an ace. It doesn't pair the board. So it's probably going to be a polarized strategy. Big bet and check. Awesome. What does my hand want to do? Look, and 7's pure check. Really, really obviously, all the way up to 10s. What else I want to say? Oh yeah, I said like king 7, king 5 would check, right? And that's exactly what happens. I missed king 8, king 9 a little bit as well. But all the better hands are going to bet. Ace king actually doing a little bit of checking, but mainly just betting. We've got some bluffs down here. Ace 5, ace 4, ace deuce, that I think is the ones that people miss. And these are straight draws, and then just like one of the worst hands we can have. Doesn't have any kind of anything going for it. But that's the general idea. Now, where does this line... Let's do this, just so you can see it properly. Okay, so actually, king 3, king 5, all of these hands can overbet. So I said it was like king 9, right? Or king... Yeah, because we could check back king 7, king 5. We actually check back king 8 sometimes. But look, you can see king 2 is a 2 pair, but king 4... King 4 just overbetting. Yeah, because we are going to bet a lot of king X on the turn. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, a lot of the value coming from king X. And then the bluffs. 8, is that a bluff? Must be. So Jack X is going to block. King X is mainly going to big bet. Ace Jack is going to medium sized bet. We've got some bluffs from ace 10. And what else? Can't see what else. Ace X with a backdoor flush draw that didn't improve. Blocking us from calling with what, like ace jack? Is that right? Yeah, okay. Ace jack calls. Ace queen doesn't want to call. Blocking queen 9, queen 10, ace 10, stuff like that. Queen jack. Who asked about this? Does queen jack... Does queen jack, jack 10 call? It's indifferent. Probably something to do with the suits in there. Not going to spend too long doing that. 8's bets. Remember 8's bet, and look, we're folding 9s and 10s and some jack X. Never folding a king, by the way, and this is why it's really important to check back a king sometimes. Otherwise, you're going to get punished. Queens start folding as well. Cool. Right, I think we did pretty well there. Let's have a look at this. In real life, I fold 100%. 50-50 call fold versus a bot. Well, it's pure fold, actually. Just versus a really good reg, maybe sometimes call to see value. Yeah, I mean, I still wouldn't call. Is this heuristic true on most boards with a blank turn? Yes, in position against the big blind, it is. Well, I've yet to see a spot where you can't go big bet and check, especially when you're playing 40 bigs and under, right? So at 40 bigs, we bet small on the flop, and then on the turn, the biggest bet was going to be pot. If you play 100 big blinds deep, this could definitely be different. I've done way more work 40 bigs and under because that's where we spend a lot of time in a tournament, and not so much 100 big blinds. And if you're thinking like, oh yeah, but we register at the start in PKOs, completely different story, probably different strategy as well. Okay, so is there anything else I wanted to talk about here? Let's go. Low stakes, virtually no one is doing this enough to warrant a hero. There's definitely a group of players that take the liberty to bomb a river when checked to. They look at it as a green light for blind aggression, even in some of the lower stakes games. Sevens is not a pure fold. It calls 20%, 7% off time. Does it? Wow, you are correct. Shout out to you, Principal 22. 7 of hearts, 7 of clubs. Yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Well done. I didn't even pick up on that. I was just pure folding all the time. So yeah, we clearly, because we block King 7. Now, if our opponents are not going to overbet King 7, then maybe this becomes a less of a call. Still unblocking bluffs, of course. But no, shout out to you. I completely missed that. All right. Well, anyway, we've done 2 hands so far. We're back in the big blind. And I really just want to fold here. I know we have a gut shot, guys, but we don't have a spade. And we're facing a big bet, and we expect big bets and checks here. So I'm just going to fold. Who's with me? Who's with me? Put in the chat. If you want to fold here as well, we're going to fold. You've got to try and convince me that this is a call. No one's a station enough. Everyone's saying fold. Oh, just perfect timing. No one is a station enough. And then Ian Simpson comes in with, I don't want to fold, but I do. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. I mean, 7-5 off with the 7 of spades actually raises, but 7-5 off with the 5 of spades, I would have made a mistake here, probably, and flicked it in. Hattie says, turbo fold. Flick it into the muck straight away. Are there any gut shots that do continue? So, yes, Queen Jack is good continue. King Queen with the backdoor flush draw is going to continue. I know that's not a gut shot before anyone gets in the chat and says, 10-6, look at that. 10-6 with a backdoor flush draw, that's going to continue. Got an overcard as well. Think about the low jack's betting range. It's going to be a lot of 9x, so we could actually improve on a 10. We also, yeah, be good. Oh man, 5 of spades is not enough. 5 of spades is not enough. We're back in the big blind. Oh, this is an interesting board because this is a board where the in-position player doesn't get to bet full frequency. So, not going to raise, obviously. Right. So, check on the turn. Could still have a better hand. I don't think they're always going to bet an ace. Although, maybe we just check raise a lot of our strong hands. Do they always bet like ace 9 plus? That's the question. Now, this is an interesting one. Resin said having a spade I would like raise sometimes. Yeah, in the last hand, 7 of spades looked good, 5 of spades was out. Principal was talking about the 150% pot bet in the last hand. I know, the 2 hands prior. They should probably call versus 75% or even pot. Some showdown value hand is calling, starts to fold versus overbet. Don't know if this is the correct assessment. We've moved on, so let's focus our attention on this. Piyush on YouTube says jacks are better calls here, but I guess 7s is better than 10s. Yeah, exactly right. Hattie's going for block here. Yanis going for block. Bet a7, a6, a4, a3. Why are we only blocking and not going for a bigger bet here? Like, if you can get a7, a6, ace4, ace3 to call, why not bet 74% rather than block? Funny when he says, I think you value own yourself if you bet here. Brian Potter's going for a block as well. This is, yeah, I'm unsure of what I would like to do here. Mainly because I'm unsure how strong the turn check is. If it includes a lot of like ace 9, ace 10, ace jack, then fair enough. If it doesn't, then I feel like we can value bet more frequently. Certainly, I would expect to see a check back with a hand like king 5 or king 5 is the only one really, because I'm not sure. Given that their board is one where he can check it back in position. Stephen J, thanks for subscribing. Says great session, coach. Appreciate that. Thank you. Ace king, yeah. So ace king and aces, I think would check back flop because they're going to check back a decent amount. We've got a lot of king X, and we already saw right at the start of this session that this is the kind of board where they would do some checking. Yeah, what are we going for? We need a vote really, don't we? We've got some votes for 74, some for block 25. Hattie says because I think they can still have better ace X as well. In real life, villain will probably not balance the check range enough for sure. We get value from some of those with big bet where some fold like 3s, 4s, maybe 6s. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I'm thinking like weaker ace X to call, right? But are there some like if we bet small here, how wide is he supposed to call? And then think about like in terms of bluffing. Like if we don't raise a king on the flop, but when he has to check back the flop, I don't think we get to then raise all of our king X on the flop, right? Because he's more selective with his bets. So therefore we're going to check call some king X. So with a king, we're probably going to want to use some big bets, right? But if we only ever use the big bet with a king, yeah. So I don't think we get to overbet with an ace, right? This is basically what I'm saying. But then where do we put our bluffs? Are we going to bluff with like queen jack, queen 10, jack 10? And what sides to be used for those? And these would be, reasonable. Would they be good bluffs though? Blocking ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, when those hands I think are just going to bet the turn at a reasonable clip. So yeah, this is why we're getting ourselves into a bit of a mess here. Mixing big bet gets all the heroes. Anyway, we're on practice mode here, so it doesn't matter if we make a mistake. Oh, we got 47 out of 47. Well done, me. I really want to see. So this is where you can just go, oh, yeah, I'm correct. I'm the best player in the world. 47 out of 47. Let's move on. But I don't want to do that. It does actually raise. Wow. It does raise sometimes. I mean, it's a tiny amount. Jeez. Gee whiz. Look how much we fold here as well, by the way. 60%. Do we continue queen 9 backdoor flush draw? Well, nice. Okay, do you see what I mean when I said we don't raise all of our king X? Well, that's pretty clear here, right here. Let's just confirm that he doesn't bet everything. Nope, he does do some checking. I said aces would check back, actually. Is it ace king that checks? Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. So when you know that they're supposed to have some check backs, the very best hands that definitely block a lot of hands that can continue are going to be nice check backs because it's harder for them to get value. But yeah, block was the right answer. Let's have a look at this. All right, so spot on. Ace king checks back on the turn. Pocket kings checks back on the turn. Aces just goes for it. This is interesting actually because this is a blank. I think it's because it's a paired board. It's quite unique that there is some small betting and big betting. So this is not quite as straightforward as the last one. Yeah, we'll have a look at their checking back range in a moment, Ian, no problem. But anyway, so the ace X, ace queen, ace jack, ace, yeah. So a lot of these are just gonna continue to bet. But ace 10, ace 9's in there quite a lot. He also, someone said this, he also can have some king X still, right? So blocking, I think blocking just gets a lot of more hands to call. Yeah, so this is what I was thinking, like these under pairs are gonna start calling. seeing the Jack X and 10X hands fold, sorry, pocket jacks and 10s fold, makes me think that we do block with like Queen Jack, Queen 10, Jack 10, stuff like that. Did anyone see that? Okay, we don't, well, there's a bit of blocking with those hands. There's some big betting. Look at Queen Jack of Spades just wants to send it. Not all in, but an overbet. So that's where we're going to find our bluffs. We're going to obviously bet some King X. We want to be polar. Of course we do. That is interesting. Queen Jack, Jack 10. We've got some blocking going on. Yeah, but the weakest hands. Look at those. 10-9, Jack 9, Queen 9. 5s and 2s, obviously a boat. 8s just loves it. Just can get, does the 8s get called by worse? Yeah, 7s and 6s. Okay. So that's a value. It's a value bet, not a bluff. Can we see the flop check back range? This is what they check back. So some ace X. We've got some under pairs. And some King X as well. And actually, look at those. Okay, yeah. So it's just the hands in green. Who was this? Spheriga, Jasmine River. Missed that one as well. Severus Jane. And I think I've got all the other ones. Not sure about Twappy 76. Mindiris. Not sure if I saw those as well. Ace 10 was an overbet on River, was it? Let's have a look. Looks like it's doing all sorts. Mainly blocking, some overbetting. I think it makes sense, you block. No, it's not a bluff, is it? It's a value bet. So you're trying to get called by weaker hands. You're always going to get called by a weaker ace when you block ace 10. You're also going to get called by some pairs as well. Right, let's keep going. I want an in position. Okay, we've got an in position spot now. Jack 9-3. I'm going to go with small bet to begin with. Ooh, lost a point. Some big betting going on here. That is okay. I'm not going to lose any sleep about that over that, but one to take a note of. These queen high boards. I wonder if we can find them, because this is one of those spots where I sometimes struggle. Is it just? Oh, this is out of position. We don't want that one. In position. Let's try this one. So these sometimes, like the queen high boards, we start to see some checking on. I mean, not really, is it? Not really at all. What am I thinking of then? Okay, right. Well, this is fine. What was the board? Queen 8-7. All right, there is a tiny bit of checking. There is some checking on here, but really not that significant. So let's go. Let's make this a bit bigger. Bet big. Hattie likes big bet. Big blind has loads of continues here. Let's have a look at the overall strategy. Loads of continues. Yeah, decent number. I wouldn't say loads. Certainly it was more than the ace king king board where we bet small, but yeah, fair enough. Let's carry on through. We're doing a lot of big blind stuff. I'm just going to go check call here and check call turn, pot bet. Look at that blank turn card, and probably hero it off. I think the 7's got to be pretty nice. What 7x is he going to send it with? 9-7, 10-7, 8-7, 7-6, maybe. Okay, checks back. Right. Let's have a look. There's no raising going on here. A common thing that you'll see, guys, by the way, is that the best ace X finds a raise versus a small bet. But then you see a big drop off. Ace 3 and ace 2 raise because they're two pair. We've got some raises in here. I think these are more challenging to find. Like gut shots with a backdoor flush draw, gut shots with a flush draw. Sets seems to be pretty easy. I think if you're looking to improve your check raise percentage, this is where you would find it on this board. There's some draws as well. Okay. What do we have? Ace 7. And then, yeah, they don't really send it in with 7x. So I think we would just call. If they're betting ace queen for value. So this is an interesting one to talk about. So it's not truly a bluff catcher if you can beat some of their value hands, right? So if they jam ace queen I mean, how thin are they gonna? Are they expecting us to call, right? If they're jamming ace queen for value, unless some ace x does actually start folding, right, and trying to fold out a chop. Interesting one. Unfortunately, we didn't get there, and we can't find out. King queen 6. I'm going to go small bet, but sometimes you see bigger bets on here. Face a check raise. Obviously going to continue with a king. I wouldn't fold any piece of this board facing a check raise. Facing a small bet, I think we're just going to click call. Again, so I don't think our hand's strong enough to raise for value. It's certainly too good to fold, and we can't jam. So just narrow down the options and go call. Now he checks. I don't think it's good enough to value bet. I think it's way too thin to value bet river here. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. It's very good. Did I mention your follow? I appreciate that. Thank you. So funny money, you're blocking his bluff range. Lots of votes for check. Jandro says check. Principal 22 check. Yeah, I think check. I think check. Any 10% here? Well, we're in position. I don't think I would ever use a 10% bet in position. I mean, you know, DTO is very different from GTO Wizard, but I would never have a 10% pot bet in position. The least you want to have. Yeah, we're not in the big blind this time, Hattie. We're we're in position. Yeah, you never want to have small bets in position because you can just check. It's an amazing thing. When you're in position, you just get to check back. Okay, 43 out of 43. All right, before we look at it, in the chat, guys, what's the weakest hand you can value bet, river? What's the weakest hand you can value bet? Is it ace king? Is it aces? Is it two pair? Is it a set? Is it a straight? Or is it a flush? Those are your only options. Ian's going for ace king. Ian loves the thin value. Plays a lot of live poker. So you've got to get pretty good at thin value betting in live poker. We're going to get good at thin value betting anyway. King, jack, no diamonds. Two pair. So queen 9 is our weakest two pair, I believe, right? We can bet queen 9 of hearts. Do we always continue queen 9? We always continue queen 9 versus check raise. Faces a block, facing a small bet on the turn, I think so. So yeah, queen 9 would be the weakest one. But what are we trying to get value from? Does he really just check call river with? I mean, the thing is, he could have a weaker two pair by then, couldn't he? He could have queen 6. Could have queen 6. All right, let's put you out of your misery. Let's see. Ace king of diamonds. No ace king. Ian, I'm afraid you've gone too thin on the river. You've gone pancake thin. Those will be bluffs. That's a set. That's a straight. That's a straight. That's a flush. That's a set. Flushes. Flushes, flushes, flushes. King, queen. King, queen. Bets half pot. Okay. I wonder if it's easier to do this. So we can get some bets from king, queen. Queen 9 looks a bit thin. Yeah, queen 9 is just a check. Okay. Let's carry on through. This should be a check fold. This is one of those ones where you're like, yeah, it's an easy check fold, and then you see like there's some like amazing 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush continues somewhere. No, they're just all gut shots. All pairs. Okay. All right. Might see some checkbacks. Yes, we do. We haven't done any turn probes yet, but I don't think this hand really benefits from betting. If you think about it, we're unlikely to get better hands to fold. and only worse hands will call. I mean, maybe some straight draws would call. I think we just check. I think we've certainly got way worse hands that we would want to start bluffing with. He bets pot. I mean, I'm feeling like I wanna call here. What kind of hands check back twice? Certainly hands like 7s, 6s, 5s, 3s and 2s maybe as well. So I think having ace jack would be better than ace 7, ace 6 probably. But then what if he has like queen jack, queen jack, jack 10? Those kind of hands we do block those. Nobody likes fold. Everyone's going call at the moment. Well, if you're new to the stream, by the way, guys, and you haven't done so already, just hit the follow button on Twitch or the hit subscribe on YouTube, and that'd be great. He should bet jack 10 or queen jack on turn. I mean, yeah, but if he's checking, like, he's not going to bet at full frequency, right? His under pairs might have to bluff here. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm thinking Hattie. That's why I think that hands like ace 7, ace 6, ace 5 going to be worse calls than this. But it just depends whether we block queen jack, queen 10. We're going to go for the call and see what happens. 50 out of 50. Are we correct, or do we just always call with an ace? Boom, look at that. Ace 6, ace 5 does start to fold. I would guess then he's going to find some bluffs with 6s and 7s, or maybe a hand like 7, 6, something like that. 6s and 5s, you're welcome. And some ace 6, ace 5. Let's say 7, 6 or 6, 5. Yeah, 6, 5. So yeah, having ace 6 and ace 5 doesn't look too good. If you've got DTO, you have the super high roller tier, then check out this because this function or feature, because you can get some clues as to why ace jack's a call and why ace 6 and ace 5 start folding. Although, to be honest, it's not a huge amount, is it? It's not a huge amount. We even hero with a king sometimes. Okay. Don't have any 8x. Let me have a look at the turn leads. Really polar strategy. Okay, and what did we're thinking about jack 10. Jack 10 bets a decent amount on the flop. Same with queen jack. Does it bet turn? Not all the time, so you could have those hands as well. Did 4-4 pure check back turn? No. It almost always bets. Okay, cool. Is there anything else we want to look at here? I don't think so. Let's move on. We're flying. Oh, this board. Right, there was something really important about this board that we talked about right at the start. What is it? Who was here right at the start? Let me answer some of these questions as well. Funny Money, can you elaborate why not turn probe to protect from hands that are weaker but still have good equity? Or does he just not fold hands like king jack, queen jack? I mean, king jack, king queen, sorry. King queen's different. What do we have? Ace jack. So king jack doesn't have that much equity against us, right? So I wouldn't be worried too much about king jack. More so king queen, but yeah, that's why I wouldn't be too worried about that. Big bet. I wasn't here, but always big bet. Got to say that threes. It's a terrible open 40 bigs deep in the low jack. Wow, you don't like the ranges. It is only there 60% of the time. Jandro 2712, but that is the opening range. Piyush Ravi on YouTube says we bet a lot on the ace queen jack for a big size. Absolutely. So here's where sometimes you can get a little bit confused in this spot, because you could bet a hand like threes. Jandro loves the open, and you could expect to get some jack x to fold and maybe even some queen x, right? because we just have such an equity advantage on this board. Let me just show you what's going on here. Equity, what's the board? Ace, Queen, Jack. Is it this one? This one here, right? So 68% equity, going for big bet basically all the time, never checking, and you would just never check this spot, as you would expect. So yeah, so this I was trying to explain why there's like some players find it difficult to bet big here, because you can certainly bluff and you can get some better hands to fold, right? You can bet threes here big and you can get some Queen X, well, certainly Jack X, maybe some Queen X as well. Like Queen 9 of clubs is going to really struggle to cling on, right? But then why would we bet this hand? It's not a bluff. You're never getting a better hand to fold, but you can actually get worse hands to call. You can get flush draws to call. You can get like Jack 10, Queen 10, those kind of hands to call. I'd be interested to see like Queen X of diamonds. Like does Queen 2 of diamonds, Queen 3 of diamonds, Queen 4 of diamonds? Those hands call, in which case we're getting value with our exact hand. So you always be trying to think about those kind of things when you're in this situation. I instinctively know this is a big bet and check spot, and we confirmed that here, right? The Ace Queen Jack board, betting 4.2 94% of the time. But always trying to think like, what are you actually trying to achieve? Now, this is interesting. This is a blank turn card, as we talked about before. The geometric sizing is the 69%. I am surprised that there's no small bet option, not for this board, but there will be spots where you bet big on flop and then not so big on turn, right? But there's only one option here. That's just probably how the sim's been set up. So now we've got a question. If you know it's just like, it's never going to be a jam, right? So it's either check or big bet. Is our hand good enough to value bet? Probably not. I mean, we still get called by Jack X of spades, which is the only thing I'm thinking of. And we don't block that, which is nice. Do we need to bluff with our hand? Are we going to get better hands to fold? Well, probably not, right? So this hand, I think, is going to work out better as a check. The only thing is if we can actually get value from Jack X of spades, 7X of spades, combo draws, stuff like that. Does a hand like Queen 10, Jack 10 still continue as well? That would be the ideas. Okay. Lanting says triple on this board versus the bigger blind. I imagine. I mean, we certainly do, but not necessarily with this hand, because think about does it make logical sense? I'm leaning towards check. What do you guys think? Principal says this hand a second barrel or check back for showdown. I'm leaning towards check. Pio says we start getting fold from some ace-x hands on the turn. So then we kind of like, is it a bit of a mergy bet on the turn where we can get Jack X of spades to call, 7X of spades, combo draws, plus hands like Queen 10 and Jack 10 to still call. But then we actually generate folds from ace-x. I'm going to go with check. Remember, we're playing on practice mode here, so if we get it wrong, then it's fine, because we'll get another option. What an interesting river card. We've got two pair, but yeah. Probably not good enough to... Oh, is it good enough to value bet? Oh. I've got an interesting thought experiment. Well, question basically for you guys. Do you think that when you've got all the time in the world, you become a better poker player or a worse poker player? The reason why I ask you that is that when you play in real time and you've got the alarm going off on PokerStars or whatever site you play on, other sites are available. Do you think that you make better decisions when it's like when you've got have to make a quick decision, or do you think you make a better decision when you've got longer to think? I think there's an element of overthinking these spots when you play, and I do think that mixing up the way that you train, the way that you drill these spots could be quite useful. So sometimes going slowly like we're going here and really thinking spots through. And then sometimes just saying, right, I'm going to blast through 25, 50 hands right now. And I'm going to, only give myself 5 seconds. And you could probably get like some sort of app in the top corner, right? You could just put up like some sort of timer where you only get 5 seconds, like a shot clock. 5 seconds and you click and then it resets and it goes again, right? That could be quite useful. But I do think those two ideas of training are really, really useful. Let's have a look here. Principle 22, bet half pot versus ace-x. Resin says, I think check because it's too thin. You're opening yourself to have to fold to a raise. Yeah, I mean, we certainly win often enough when we check. Can we go for thin value? Where's Mr. Thin Value when we need him? Ian, what do you reckon? Funny Money says, hard to get worse to call, even his worst 2 pair struggle against a pair. Resin, or even worse, a call versus a raise. U3BI4B says half pot and fold to a raise. I'm going to go check. I'm going to go check and see. Oh, first mistake. Thank God we're playing on practice mode. I don't know if that affects our stats, but who was it who said half pot? U3BI4B says half pot. Who else is going for half pot? It's got to be half pot. You can't bet pot. You're not getting a better hand to... Are you getting a better hand to fold? Okay. I'm not expecting a straight to fold, but I'm just thinking whether or not some better ace, like the 2 pair, like ace 7. No, it's not. It can't be a bet pot. It's not a bet pot. It can't be. 37 out of 47. Whoa. What did we do on the turn? Did we check? That makes me think that we should have bet. Oh, yeah, look at that. What is going on here? It is a pot bet. What the heck? Goodness me. Right, this started off being a really easy flop spot and then has thrown a few curveballs. What is going on here? We bet big on the turn. I did question that, right? About whether or not we could get Jack X and 7X of spades and combo draws and Queen 10 and Jack 10, those kind of hands to still call by betting King Queen. Does that mean that we don't bet like King Queen off with a spade? No, we do. Huh. Shadow BV09 says, how can that be a bet pot? It's fascinating. I really don't know. I think if we go down this line, we're gonna see okay, I'm gonna replay this hand and I'm not gonna bet turn the first time. And I'm gonna bet pot and I want to see what hands call on the river. It's got to be like some ace-x, right? Yeah, okay. So we make an ace-x in different... What is that? King 9 of spades. Just heroes us off. Goodness me. What else? Ace-jack, that's better than our hand. Ace-x is all indifferent. A7 not, of course. Queen X is got a call. Jack X is always going to fold. These are straights. Okay. Let's go back to the flop a minute. I just want to see... Yeah, okay. So I said about Queen 9, Queen X with a backdoor flush draw, right? And that's what's going on here. Queen 10 is going to call because it's a pair and a draw. Jack 10. I think I said all of this right at the start. These are gut shots as well. But it's going to, you're going to get a lot of folds. You can see that there. 63.5%. We're going to go through the different line in a moment. What are the bluffs? What are the bluffs for this size? Okay, well, there you go. You've got 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s sometimes, 8s sometimes. You've got 9-8 a lot of the time. That's a straight. So 9-8 and 9-7. We've got some King X bluffing as well. Making an ace indifferent. This becomes a very, very challenging spot. Missed flush draws. not too many missed flush draws. I don't think they would work out too well as bets here, because I mean we don't have too many of them that haven't improved. But yeah, because we block a lot of our opponent's folds, right? So they might call, fold, for example. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5 didn't bet turn. It still bets a little bit of the time. They check to check again on blank river and beat flush draws. Yeah, I guess so. I think you're absolutely spot on. Let's go the different route now. I really want to see what calls turn and then whether or not we can fire river. And we might have to call it a day. I didn't even see what you had, by the way. I don't think our hand's good enough to... Oh, my goodness. Just get it in, guys. Just send it. Just send it with king, queen on these runouts. Right. Let me see what calls here. So you're still getting called by king X of spades. So I talked about the combo draws. You've got jack X of spades, of course, always calling. You've got queen 10 starting to be indifferent. Jack 10 the same, but jack 10 off just always going to fold. Not too many 10x actually continues here, which is potentially why we can still value bet river. If you think about it, there's not too much 10x that, yeah, so like 10x of spade basically. All of these 10x have now folded. 10-9's folded, 10-8 of spades continues, but all of these other ones, 10x of spades basically continues and all the others fold, which means that we land on the river and he doesn't have too many straights. So he's going to be forced to bluff catch with some weaker hands. Okay, so what's going on here? Ace deuce has to call. Give me some weaker hands. King jack. King jack. And wow, okay. King jack and queen jack and some weaker ace x. So when we jam king queen, imagine, okay, so this is where potentially we're going to end on this hand because it's a really fun one. But did I miss this? Follow Fabio. Thanks for the follow. In theory, well, based on the solver, we can jam king queen because queen jack's indifferent. King jack has to call, and some ace x, especially the bluffs that unblock our, the bluff catchers that unblock our bluffs, are going to have to call, right? Emotive Kiwi, thanks for the follow. In practice, in mid and low stakes MTTs, is the big blind going to be good enough to know that he doesn't have many 10x on this run out and therefore has to call some two pair? If he doesn't call with king jack and queen jack and ace x, he just pure folds them, then there's absolutely no way we can value jam king queen. Tell me if you agree with what I've just said there in the chat. We're going to make this the last discussion point and then we're going to wrap it up. Yeah, so I think sometimes, like, I like it in theory. I like the idea of jamming because, but like this is why you always need to dive into the sim, right? Why you don't just go, oh, king queen's a jam, all right, yeah, brilliant, and move on to the next hand. You got to understand the why, and the big blind's got to be aware they don't have too many 10x. They got some combo draws, of course. They really don't have much 10x. And therefore we get to jam thinner for value. They're forced to call wider. But if they don't call wider, we can't jam as thin for value. So yeah, we're going to end it on that note. If you haven't done so already and you're watching on Twitch, consider hitting the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, consider hitting subscribe, leaving a like, leaving a comment down below. That would be amazing for the YouTube channel as well. If you are watching Twitch and you want to watch loads of videos, then head over to YouTube and you can watch the past streams that I've been doing since November, every single Monday, apart from Boxing Day. Is there anything else I want to tell you guys about? Probably the only thing is, if you haven't done so already, join the Facebook group. I'm going to type it in to, I'm going to try to type it in to Twitch now. You can join. It's a free Facebook group. There's over 4,500 members in there. Put it in both Twitch chat and YouTube chat. Come and join the group. You do have to ask answer some questions as you come in. I know there were some people last week that just thought they could just click join and not have to answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions, you're not coming in. All right. So answer the questions. They're really easy as well. So if you get them wrong, then there's no hope. But yeah, come and join the group. Free content in there every single day. If you like this, you can watch more on YouTube. Who followed there? MWM Peel and Uncle Drew. Thank you for the follows. That's it, guys. Take care. I'll see you next Monday for more. And I think there will be one the following Monday, but I'm away in Ireland that weekend to play some live poker. So that's a bit of an iffy one. But I think we can still do the stream. Let's do it. That's it. We're done. Enjoy your evenings or mornings or wherever you are in the world. Take care, guys. Speak soon. Bye.